Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today, Caitlin Safer from the South Shore YMCA will be joining us with an update on the expansion project at the Hale Family Y right here in Quincy. We'll talk about some of their upcoming programs as well. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, we've got some hazy sunshine, 77 degrees, and climbing rapidly. A heat advisory is now in effect through Wednesday evening, with the potential for another heat wave this week. Temperatures today will climb to the upper 80s. It might touch 90 in some locations, and a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. A muggy night tonight. Temperatures dropping off only into the lower 70s. Tomorrow is definitely the peak of the heat with hot and humid conditions. Tomorrow's air temperatures could be in the upper 90s. The heat index will be into the low 100s with the combination of heat and humidity tomorrow. And again, the heat advisory continues. Tomorrow night down to around 70 degrees. Another hot day on Wednesday. Not quite as hot as Tuesday, but still pretty warm with highs Wednesday in the lower 90s. And then Wednesday night, the heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. as temperatures dip to the upper 60s, and much better on Thursday, even though we'll have some showers around. It will be cooler. Highs Thursday only in the low 70s. Again, hazy sunshine, 77 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, Quincy police are searching for a suspect in connection with vandalism to at least 30 cars that were parked in North Quincy neighborhoods on Saturday morning. Police say a man dressed in all black clothing and covering his head and face used a rock to scratch the windows and doors of at least 30 vehicles parked along Hancock Street, Quincy Shore Drive, Commander Shea Boulevard, Newbury Avenue, Oak Ridge Road, Walnut Street, and some of the surrounding neighborhoods. Residential security cameras captured the video of the suspect at about 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. Police believe the same man is responsible for all of the incidents. They say they have collected some evidence that they hope leads to an arrest. Anybody with any information or video is asked to contact Quincy Police. Well, preparations are well underway for this year's Quincy City election. A preliminary election will be held on September 2nd to narrow down the field of candidates for councilor at large and for Ward 6 city councilor. Early voting for that election will be held from August 23rd through the 28th at Quincy City Hall. Now, for voters who want to vote by mail, City Clerk Nicole Crispo says they have to request a ballot.
Okay. Yep, we're not going to send out the cards automatically. They have to request it. You can, we have notice here with QR code. There's a notice on our website with the QR code if you wish to do it via your phone, or you can certainly call our office, 617-376-1144. We'll send you out the application. And we can get those ballots out to you just as soon as we get them in.
The last day to apply for a vote-by-mail ballot for the preliminary election is August 25th. The last day to apply for an absentee ballot in person for the preliminary election is August 29th, and in-person voting will take place September 2nd from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. City of Quincy expecting to get over $2 million in state funding for road and bridge work under a transportation bond bill that was passed by the House last week. State Representative Jackie Chan of Quincy says that $1.2 billion bond bill includes $300 million. That's a 50% increase for 1 year in road and bridge repair projects.
Chapter 90 provides basic local aid to city and towns for road and bridge work. And we're going to put in $3 million this year for locals and cities and towns for local projects. I actually am waiting for a breakdown on how much Quincy is going to get. I suspect it's going to be in the high $2 million zone, but I don't have a direct number until transportation gives us the final count. And then we put some more money regarding $500 million, $500 million for bridge paving at the Highway Division, the Department of Transportation. We do about $185 million for more infrastructure regarding pedestrian bicycle walkways in congested areas. We've always had a little bit of extra money for like emergency cases. So we always have a little bit of a set aside just in case something goes really, really bad somewhere in the state.
That bill did pass the House unanimously last week. It is now headed to the Senate for further debate starting this Thursday. Well, the United First Parish Church in Quincy Center recently hosted the annual presidential wreath-laying ceremony to mark the 258th birthday anniversary of President John Quincy Adams. Guest speaker Marianne Peak of the Adams National Historical Park here in Quincy reflected on how a young John Quincy Adams was impacted by the start of the American Revolution 250 years ago.
That early exposure to sacrifice, service, and the struggle for freedom shaped the rest of his life. Imagine absorbing at such a young age the values of freedom of speech, liberty, and self-governance, not as ideals, but as daily realities. This is how it began for John Quincy Adams, and from there, his path never wavered, not once. A year later, at the age of 10, imagine leaving your family. John Quincy Adams sailed to Europe to assist his father in diplomatic affairs while treating for peace. This began his extraordinary career in public service, becoming a global American diplomat. This should remind us today of the potential of our youth, to provide them opportunities to succeed, pursue civic engagement and education, contributing to society as a lifetime commitment.
Now, that ceremony also featured remarks from an Adams family descendant, Mayor Thomas Koch, the director of the Quincy Historical Society, and leaders at the church. The Quincy Choral Society provided the music. This year's wreath from the White House was presented by Commander Aaron Miller from the Navy Reserve Center here in Quincy. And while that ceremony for John Quincy Adams' birthday anniversary was going on inside, just outside the church, construction continues on a pocket park to honor the 6th president. Crews are in the process of preparing the site for the construction of a park that will feature a 7-foot-tall statue of the president, along with some benches, some green space, and some new lighting. The city took the Acapulco's restaurant that was at that site by eminent domain, demolished the building, and is now constructing the new park. The original hope was to have the park completed in time for the president's birthday anniversary on July 11th. However, the new completion date is expected in late August or early September. Total cost of the new park estimated at about $6 million. Mayor Thomas Koch says the funding is coming from the District Improvement Financing Agreements, which represents new tax revenue generated by new growth in Quincy Center. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Caitlin Safer of the Hale Family YMCA here in Quincy has a big update for us. That's next. Welcome back. Driving by the Hale Family YMCA on Coddington Street here in Quincy, you may have noticed some construction activity going on. So we thought we'd have Caitlin Safer come on by and give us a little update on their major expansion project that's underway. It's great to see you again, Caitlin.
Thank you. You too. You too.
Yeah, it's our neighbors just down the street here. So it's always nice to have our chat with our neighbors.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you for having me.
Sure, you're welcome. Last fall, we figured out was about the last time you were here when it was just announced about the big expansion project, right?
Yes, it was just announced. We had gone through planning at that point. I believe we had not met with zoning, and so we had met with Conservation Commission prior to that. So zoning, planning, and CONCON all unanimously voted us in. So now as you drive by, you see it happening, which is just so exciting.
Pretty quickly, actually.
Yes.
I think, was it April you had the kind of topping off ceremony?
Yeah, April was...
that was the groundbreaking.
The groundbreaking,
That's right.
yes. And then last week we had our topping off ceremony, which is the last beam of steel goes up, and that was just so exciting to see. We had all of the city partners that were there, all of our team from the YMCA, our architecture team, integrated builders, everybody who has been working so hard was there. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, it was fast.
It was.
I mean, you went from nothing to the steel skeleton of a brand new structure. structure.
Yes.
In like 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are actually putting up the steel frames for the windows right now, which
Okay.
is great.
All
So you
right.
can starting to see the building take shape.
Wow.
The way that I like to say it as somebody not in the construction world
Yeah.
is it's a prefab building.
Okay.
So I like to look at it as a bunch of magnet tiles being put together at this point. But it'll go up very quickly. So we're still on track to have the keys, so to speak, early January.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, which is great.
That's
which is
amazing,
great.
yeah.
Programming will come after that point.
All right.
Yep.
All right. We have some pictures.
Yeah.
Some show and tell, right?
Yep, I love it.
Yeah. So thank you for sending those over, by the way.
Yeah.
And the first one we're going to show folks is what I talked about, is the steel skeleton. There it
Yes.
is. You see it there.
Yes, yes.
So what are we looking at here, Caitlin?
Yeah, so you're really looking at the frame of the building. So again, just as a reminder for everybody, it is a 10,000 square foot footprint that is being added to the property.
Okay.
It's two 10,000 square feet floors. So it's two floors that you're seeing.
Okay.
The top floor, so the second floor, will be our full-fledged gymnastics center.
Okay.
And then the bottom floor will be our shipping and receiving area, some offices, and our largest group exercise studio, which will be 3,400 square feet.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So from this perspective,
Yep.
Where are we standing?
So this perspective, you are actually standing in the driveway next to the Phragmites that are to your
Oh, yes.
right.
Okay.
The playgrounds are to your left for the
Gotcha.
Early Learning Center. And so you'll be looking at the gymnastics center on the top floor and the shipping and receiving loading dock area as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So and now will this be attached to the existing field
It
house?
will, yes. So there's a little gap right now
Yeah.
that's there, but yes, it will be one. It will look as one main building in the
Okay.
back. Yes.
Okay.
Which
And
is great.
And from the inside, will we have access to the addition from the
Yes,
field house?
yes, you will. Yep. So the second floor will be accessible to members, non-members, program participants for the gymnastics space.
Okay.
The group exercise studio, you'll be able to access that. Through the field house.
Okay.
So you go through the field house doors and walk your way around the basketball courts to enter the group exercise studio. Then the shipping and receiving is more for the Y staff.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess why was it determined that this was needed, Caitlin?
Yeah, so we did a lot of research about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, about what the Y needs, but then also what the city needs and how we can better collaborate and be better partners. So after doing a lot of research, we realized that the city of Quincy does not currently have a gymnastics center. And so that was a need that is fulfilling for both the Y and for the city of Quincy.
Sure.
And with the dynamic population and all of the cultures that we have here in Quincy that is such a melting pot, it's really that next added program that we really saw that was needed.
Okay.
Group exercise, we cannot feed that beast enough.
Yeah.
If you've been to any group exercise classes at the Hale Family YMCA, they are just packed.
Yeah, they're really?
Yes, so it was really needed for the community as well to add that space.
Okay.
It'll be our largest one, which is great. And then shipping and receiving and a couple more offices are needed always. So.
For logistical purposes,
Yes,
right?
yes,
To run
for-
any kind of organization. or
Yeah,
business,
and just
yeah.
for everyone to come be together as a team.
Yeah.
I think we are so used to our phones and emails, and it's like, let's just get up and talk to each other. So
Wow, what a concept, right?
it's great. It's great.
We have some renderings of what
Yes.
the interior will look like
Yep.
once it's completed, so we can bring those up. But what are we looking at here?
Okay, so here you're looking at the second floor. So this is a snapshot of the gymnastics center.
Okay.
So the windows that you're seeing,
Yep.
you're looking out to our Phragmites and Roxy's.
Okay.
Yes. And
So that's what they're putting in today, actually.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So that is the gymnastics center. The beams in the middle, they will not be there.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be very open, so
Gotcha.
those will not be there.
Okay, very
Yes.
good. And these are renderings, these aren't photos. right?
Correct.
Okay.
These are renderings,
Okay.
correct, yes.
Excellent. And again, the size of that is going to be how
So the gymnastics center itself is going to be just about 9,000 square feet,
Wow,
which
okay.
is great. So then we'll have extra square footage for the gymnastics director, some bathroom facilities as well.
Gotcha, yeah.
And we're also going to have an empowerment room in
Is
this
that what this is here?
in gymnastics center. Oh, perfect angle.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, orienting yourself. The windows are to the Phragmites and Roxy's parking lot.
Yep.
We're on the other side of the center
Yep,
now.
yep.
So in the corner, you'll see a windows to the right-hand side, and that's going to be our empowerment room.
Okay.
And that is to feed the need for female empowerment within the city. So during the school year, it is like the great apocalypse happens when the high school lets out. All of the teens come over.
Right
and
across
come,
the street, right?
Yep, come right over to the Y, which
Sure.
is so great. We
Yeah.
have such a phenomenal relationship with Quincy Public Schools. They come over, they utilize the field house, our programming, the pools, but really understanding that need was there are a lot of females that come over and they really just aren't sure what to do next. They'll come into the field house, they'll hang out, they'll be in groups, but they're not as integrated with the males, we've noticed.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be able to give them their own space.
Okay.
We want to be able to meet them where they're at. We want to be able to, do some lecture series and some courses up there.
Okay.
Really try to figure out how to empower females within the city to kind of really find their voices and take that step forward.
So they're looking for something different from the Y than the boys are, it sounds
yeah,
like.
we've sensed that. So we're
Okay.
trying to give them what they need. So
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that empowerment room.
Yeah, so will it be exclusive for girls? Kate?
No, not exclusive
Okay.
for girls, but really we're honing in on that because that's the need that we see right now.
Okay, all right.
But don't want to discriminate, so
Of course,
open to
no,
anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So will this require more staff or more
Yeah, so
instructors?
we're going to add a group exercise director to
Okay,
the team,
okay.
some more programming directors, probably some more group exercise directors
Hmm.
as well because of the group exercise studio. So we'll be adding some jobs to the Y. You can always pop on our website and look at the job application there,
Yep.
and then those are all be posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last rendering here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So this is just a rendering again of the group exercise studio.
Okay.
So the windows that you see on the, I guess, left-hand side,
Yep.
that's looking out into the field house
Oh.
where the basketball courts are.
Okay.
And then the right-hand wall is all going to be mirrors.
Oh,
So
really?
that's where the group exercise aspect comes into it.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Wow.
yes. Yeah.
What does the Y currently have for group exercise?
Oh my gosh. So we have three, the Hale Family Y has 3 group exercise studios right now. One is more mind, body, yoga, Pilates, those types of things. Our second studio, we have more interactive group exercise, so a little bit more heavy duty, so body combat, Zumba, more of our bigger classes.
Okay.
And then we also have our spin studio as well.
Okay.
So this will be adding on to that, which is really, really needed.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, will there be any downtime at all for the project itself once the two buildings are kind of connected?
A little bit of downtime,
Okay.
probably in the fall when they're connecting everything.
okay.
And then essentially we'll still be moving in, so to speak, in January-esque of 2026.
Okay.
Tentatively thinking about programming in the spring of 2026.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's really happening pretty quickly.
It is,
Yeah.
it is, which is great, and it's just, I'm so thankful to have such an easy, streamlined process for this. But also, there's a lot of people that have put a lot of work into
I
it as
am
well.
sure, yeah.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of money, right? So
It
we
does.
should talk about that, yeah.
It does, yes. So thank you. We are in the community phase right now of our fundraising efforts. And if you remember, during COVID, we were through the process of raising $12 million
Yes.
for a couple of different projects throughout the South Shore YMCA Association. This was the last piece that needed to be built.
Okay.
And so we were in the starting phases, of the community phase for raising funds, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So we have started to restart that phase. So we are still looking for donations to come through,
Okay.
asking the community for their help. They can call the main branch, ask for myself or for Mary Orn.
Mm-hmm.
She's our Chief Development Officer. We'd be more than happy to sit down, meet you where you're at if you'd like, and have those conversations.
Okay. What's the
Yeah.
cost of this expansion project?
So this expansion project is about $8 million.
Wow, okay.
Yes,
So a
yes, yes. So
significant
we're
portion.
fundraising about $2.5 million
Gotcha.
to cover that cost.
Okay.
Yes.
Like to remind folks always, the YMCA is a nonprofit, 501c3 corporation, right? And you
Yes.
provide millions in grants, I know, every year for
Yes.
individuals who meet the qualifications.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So whether that's membership
Yep.
or programs as well, we give scholarships for programs. We have a lot of medical wellness programs
Mm.
that are free for referral by your doctor. So we have all of that. That's all just donations or just from the YMCA being, mission-based programming that we're putting out there.
Yeah. What's striking to me is the fact that the Y responds to the community's needs, not the other way around.
Yes.
Not like a for-profit business would.
Right.
Say, here's what we have, take it or leave it. You say, what do you need? We'll give it to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And we really tried to hone in on that with this expansion.
Right.
We really tried to do our due diligence prior to and figure out what not only the Y needs, but what the city needs,
Yeah.
and really try to tie that in together.
Will there be enough parking, Caitlin?
Yes.
I mean, that's a concern anywhere in Quincy, right?
Yes, there will be enough
Okay.
parking. A fun fact for you.
Yes.
We have 377 parking spaces, and to open the building as is without our expansion, we only needed 125 spaces.
okay.
So we purposely overbuilt our parking lots
Gotcha.
to feed that need. And with the gymnastics center, gymnastics is more evenings and weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see a big issue, hopefully, knock on wood,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
with the parking.
Okay.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
very good.
yes.
So you had surplus to begin with.
Yes, we
and
did.
you still will, actually.
Yes,
Even
yes.
after this
It
is
might
done.
not feel that way during
Yeah.
some program spaces because in program times, because everybody loves their particular class or swim class
yeah.
or whatever that may be, and we love that. So it's just being patient with the timing on some things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there any more expansion planned in the future?
No, really,
No.
for the where the property is,
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
last buildable space
Okay.
on the actual property,
Gotcha.
unless we go up
Ah,
into the air. So airspace maybe in the future.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're in the middle of summer right now.
Yes.
How are your summer programs going?
Summer programs are going really well.
Good.
Right now, we are currently in week 7 of our Camp Cork summer
amazing.
camp. Want to do a big shout out to Quincy High School. They are our secondary site for our Camp Cork.
Oh.
So we are able to utilize the high school and utilize the branch simultaneously. So the bigger kiddos are over at the high school while the littles are still at the branch.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that's been to take off the burden, so to speak, of the building with parking and drop off and pick up.
Yes.
It's been a great partnership.
Yeah.
So just thanks so much.
No transportation issues, right? You just
Correct.
walk right across
Correct.
the street.
Yes,
It's a big
yes.
hurdle for some
Yes.
folks. Yeah,
Yep,
so that's
yep,
great.
which is great.
Are the programs full? I'm guessing they're full.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So all of the other programs are full. We have our swim lessons
Yep.
in full swing
So
right now.
important, so important.
So important. And just a reminder, every second grader in Quincy Public Schools gets free swim lessons from the Y. So we
fantastic.
transport them over during the school year. We'll be continuing that this year. And it's so important being on a coastal community. So we just, again, feed that need and really meet the community where they're
Yeah, it's
at.
a critical skill. We hear tragedies every summer
I
of
know.
drowning, so
I know.
you need to have that skill at least to be able to save yourself.
Yes, or just the awareness.
Yep.
And those skills are needed, and that's what the instructors are there for. To even if a child doesn't want to get in the water, it's really instilling those safety aspects of, the water can be your friend, but
Yes.
the water is also, you need to be very, very careful.
And respectful of
Yes,
it. Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. I know kids don't want to hear this, but fall is coming, and I know that the Y is in full gear for
Yes.
preparing for the fall, right?
Yep, we are. We are gearing up for our fall programs registration. So registration for members is on August 4th, and registration for non-members
really?
for our fall program is actually on the 11th.
Okay.
So start looking at those calendars
It's a
because
week
that's
from
next
today.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's really just to really figure out, everybody's schedules.
Yeah.
Try to give them enough time to figure that out.
I think we have a fun flyer we can show folks.
Yeah. So we have the flyer, and then the actual programs don't start until September 7th. So there
Okay.
is some time.
Okay.
It's not a stressful thing. And if
right.
you need any help, either pop by the branch or feel free to call, and the directors will be able to help you sign up your kiddos
Oh, okay.
for any classes that we may have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will we be adding any classes going forward this year?
Yeah, so we're adding a lot more of the sports and rec.
Really? Okay.
Yep, and then we're continuously adding swim as well because that's obviously still a need. So.
Absolutely. And two
Yeah.
great big Olympic-sized swimming pools
Yes,
there,
we
right?
do.
I'm sure they're full today.
They are. It's just on repeat. It's wonderful to see that so many people get what they need from our little community that we have, so to speak, across the street.
What is the membership now at the one?
Yeah,
here
so
in
the
Quincy?
membership is just under 20,000 members.
Okay, so you've really bounced back. from
Yeah,
COVID.
we are
Yeah.
fully back.
Okay.
So on average per day, we see about 3,000 members per day. Yeah, it's its own little city in the city of Quincy. And really, I think that goes to a testament to the why of how many programs we have for all ages, from infants and newborns all the way up to 101 years old is our oldest member that we have
That's
here.
great.
There's something for everybody, and it just really is so nice to see the different walks of life, the community that comes in every day. It's just never a dull moment.
Yeah, I'd really encourage folks to sign up for your newsletter because it provides some
Yes.
great mission moments of the way the Y has impacted individuals
Yes.
in their lives.
Yeah, we send that out every Friday.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber and I love to read those stories, so
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
inspiring. Anything else we should share with folks right now?
No, I think, just, if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, certainly continue to come on our website, pop in, say hi.
Yep.
Love saying hi to everybody. So
Great.
it's been great.
We'll have to have you back for your holiday programming.
Of course.
All right. Good to see you.
Yes.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just enough time to take a look at the forecast for you for the rest of the day. Today, we're back into the heat and humidity. A heat advisory is in effect with temperatures today right around 90 degrees. A very uncomfortable night as well in the lower 70s. Tomorrow, really, it could be quite dangerous heat, so do use some extra care and caution tomorrow, especially. Temperatures in the mid, perhaps upper 90s, and feels like temperatures tomorrow into the low 100s, so that's no joke. Be careful about that. Still a hot day here on Wednesday, but it'll break Thursday with some showers and temperatures dropping off into the lower 70s. That will feel nice. Thanks again going out to Caitlin Safer for joining us from the Hale Family Y.
Thank you.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here on the program, the Massachusetts Veterans Advocate, Robert Notch, is stopping by to provide us with an update on veterans benefits. Meantime, check our website, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs along with news and information, video on demand, live streaming. Sign up for our newsletter and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.